Hello again, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
We are back with Zone 3 of Sonny. One giant underground train ride, it seems. Let's take a look around here. So we've got a newspaper clipping about the disappearance of a magician. Not a musician.
He could be a musician, too.
He could be. A famous illusionist, so might be a disappearing trick. Or is for real?
Is this another one of his tricks? Or is for real?
I wonder what the floating apple thing is about, whether that's some kind of allusion to something I just don't know about. We've got this mysterious blood trail again. Tomato soup, rocklet spaghetti, and the rest of the menu is covered in blood. Again, strange smell, smells of chlorine, so it's exactly like, basically, the smells that have been in the blood since back in the prison zone. So it strongly suggests there's one trail of blood of one thing from the prison, basically.
Apparently there's a floating apple store somewhere.
Huh.
I think it's floating on the water.
So probably not what they meant here.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have Ed Spencer. That name reminds me of Edward Spencer, who was kind of a court poet at the time of Queen Elizabeth, who wrote The Fairy Queen. If you ever heard a non-lame version of the story of St. George and the Dragon, it's probably based on Edward Spencer's version of it, because the original is terrible. Anyway, so it looks like he's our storekeeper here. He's quite a collector of ancient artifacts. A lot of the things that he sells are Sonny 1 items, basically, and a lot of things in this zone seem to be references to stuff from Sonny 1. But we aren't high enough level to wield any of that stuff yet. What you should do is you should definitely save right here. Make sure that autosave is off. And it's best to do this first fight again and again, because any guy in the zone has a decent chance of dropping something useful, and you should just restart until you get it. And this first fight is the really fast one.
Well, he certainly looks easy.
And he sure is. You just go on full offense. It's like a training fight, basically. Oop. Well, I don't get to stun him.
You missed on the training fight?
I missed on the training fight.
That's why there's training fights.
Mm-hmm.
On the train.
Anyway, everyone in the zone has a 9% chance to drop a really useful weapon that you want to get.
Is it a baton?
No, it's a weapon that actually doesn't look like anything from Sonny 1 that I can think of, at least not super similarly. But it's a sword that has a massive strength increase, albeit it's bad with the other stats. Yeah, specters often kill themselves slowly with self-damage stuff.
Can't die if you're already dead.
Oh, I could level up. Should probably do that.
Get anything good?
More strength. And let's take maxed out Crystallize. Crystallize is really coming into its own at this point. There we go.
Nice!
And I do indeed consider myself lucky that we're not on the receiving end of something that has plus 85 strength.
Oh, yes.
Okay, cool. It's all mine.
I'm so glad that didn't take so long, that it had a 0.001 or whatever % likelihood.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I think I'm going to be a little bit lazy and not bother changing up my gear until I hit level 13. You can switch around the Unholy Rune Blade onto Sonny. Let me change up my moves again here, though.
You don't want to just do damage and nothing else?
I'm not playing a hot hydro here. You know, I probably don't need...
You are hot, though.
That's a good point.
And you're mostly water, so...
Yeah, I guess when you put it that way, I should just go full offense. ZPCI Elites. That's about as far as they'll go, though. We'll never see these guys again, pretty much. Okay, let's just crystallize that one. I knew my teammates would focus the bottom one because he has less HP anyway. Plus, even if they had equal HP, they would target him. Okay, nope, we're gonna take that... Oh, they stunned him anyway. I guess I didn't need to do this.
Oh.
Okay. So Crystallize makes it so we can't hurt that guy, but he's stunned anyways, so he's just out of our hair for the time being. It's gotten a lot easier. since when we first fought these guys. Let's say no to his self-heal there. I would have crystallized him, but if I do that, then he'll be invincible for the next several turns. It seems like it's more efficient to just purge that thing off instead. I think my teammates can handle that. Yep. And I'll just... Oh, never mind. So much for I'll just stun him. This is that nasty poison blade effect that you don't want to leave festering, since it'll take away your focus.
It is hard to focus with a giant stab wound.
Mm-hmm. Later on in the game, you might want to have 2 crystallizes, but for this zone and the next one are often more about fights against 1 or 2 powerful enemies. Whereas, the previous 2 zones you tended to fight 3 guys at once most often. There's a mix, though, throughout the game. But as a general rule, you tend to fight a lot of single powerful enemies in this zone and the next zone, and then a lot of swarms of 3 dangerous guys in the final zone. So, multiple crystallizes become very handy there. The game's class balance is pretty interesting. Although at first glance, each class might seem to have access to the same basic capabilities, the ability to stun, the ability to remove debuffs, in actuality, the abilities that do so are so different that some classes really feel very different in certain zones than others. Cold Hydra's relative lack of crowd control compared to Biological really hurts in the last zone, for example. There he goes.
There he goes.
Maybe, since they say this line of ZPCR armor is no longer being manufactured, maybe they were ghosts. But I think not. I think it's just because it's a reference to Sonny 1 and how they looked a little bit different in that game. Okay. Well, let's have our teammates focus on one. I'll crystallize the other out of our way.
So, but are we sure that these 2 specters aren't the ZPCI elites we just fought?
We did just fight exactly 2 ZPCI, right? Then here's 2 specters.
Mm-hmm. And it's middle and bottom instead of middle and top.
Yep, you're right. It is the same.
And they don't have any armor on because you took it.
I guess I don't get my focus back after all. I'll just hit that guy. Well, luckily it was Veridux who missed and not Sonny's more important attack. These specters are really not that big a threat. You do fight 3 of them at once later on, and if you have terrible luck and have fragile guys, they can blitz 1 down.
Spoilers.
Spoilers for a fight against generic enemies in a couple of fights here?
Yes.
Okay, 13. So, I think I will mostly put it into strength. And then I will take level 4 integrity, and now I've got plenty of focus flowing in. Now, at level 13, the important thing is I can equip this unholy rune blade onto myself. So that has everything that I need. Massively more HP and speed and strength. And that lets me, I think, put the rune blade onto Veridux over here. So it has 18 speed, so he'll be way faster. Instinct is the same. More strength. It comes out a little bit behind on vitality, but I think he'll be okay. And some physical piercing to boost his physical damage too. So yeah, it's a pretty good upgrade, I think. Now, I should start selling things to make room. I like this kind of somewhat somber music that they have in the background throughout most of this game. That's a high instinct thing. I don't think I really want that even for Veridux, so I will just sell it. I can sell my trashy shoes from the first zone.
But what if you go forever without shoes again?
Luckily, I've got the Zealot's Marcher, so I'm good. 5, 9, 4. Okay, so those are not as good. We have a lot of junky items that I just never gotten around to selling. 2 Ghastly Grass. I guess those are common drops from the Spectres. Man, all these things that we're dropping would be fantastic if I was playing an Instinct character. Oh man, another thing that's amazing for... Yeah, this is just like the Instinct set of drops. Wow. Okay. 4, 7, 12. Compared to... Yeah, that's an upgrade. 9, 12, 7. That's even better, though. Another instinct. I guess I'll give... Actually, this one is... He should keep what he has. 3, 5, 9. Okay, this is a straight-up upgrade for rolled. He looks kind of silly now, though. 4, 7, 2 on these pants. That's 4, 7, 12. That's not necessarily an upgrade, so we will just sell these things. Now, what can we buy? Those are pretty bad. These are pretty good, though. 3, 15, 5. I think so. 5, 9, 4. I need to be next level for that one. 19 strength. It's kind of an interesting trade-off. You lose some stats, but you gain a lot of others. I'm going for it. One of them is you can't read the writing systems, but the writings can read you. Another, okay, this one's the odd one out. It's all about instinct suddenly. So not very useful for me. 6, 11, 11. I don't think that's really worth it. At level 14, I will revisit that store. So here is one of... Oh, I have a foolish time. I'm crystallizing the wrong guy. Whoops. Well, now they will target the wrong guy, so... Oh, jeez. This guy is... They get an extra turn, there's what happened. So that ended up using up 2 crystallized turns. But I crystallized the wrong guy, so I got myself into a bad situation there.
I'm just distracted by the fact that the top guy's name is antagonist.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like it's the odd one out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Phantom. Anyway, each of them is kind of based on a type of Sonny. One of them is a hydraulic Sonny, one of them is a shadow psychological Sonny, and one of them is a physical bio Sonny. And they're all going to be like the mutant form that Sonny can get with one of his abilities for each of these classes. 2 of his abilities, actually. Each class has 2 of these morph abilities.
You can turn into a mutant?
Yeah. There's predator form and toxicant form are the bio ones, I think. And there's some kind of cold-themed one, some kind of hot-themed one for hydraulic.
I don't remember if I've ever actually seen you do that.
Yeah, I think it's Wraith and Psychopath for psychological. I tend not to use them because they're typically not worth it. They take a turn to set up, they have a short duration, and they just tend not to be that good. Yeah, I'm okay if they kill him right now. We've got things going our way.
Poor Veritas.
I don't need Psychopath form for this.
Oh, dear.
Oh, I guess that goes crystallized for a little while. Very well. Let's heal him back up, and then we'll pummel this guy who we can't hurt, get our focus back, and then be good to go once he unfreezes. In any case, yeah, I seldom use those morphs because they don't last long, and so the turn of setup is not usually worth the benefits that you get. Most of the time.
What other secret powers have you hidden from me through non-use because they're not that good?
Most of the moves in the game, honestly, are in that category. Each class, about 20% of its abilities are just straight up junk that could never be useful for any build. And another 20% are things that are very situational but can be paired up in interesting combos. You know, Bio, there's a whole bunch of self-buffs, and you can kind of like choose which particular ones you want to use with the Speed Bio Ultra combo, where you crystallize them, spend like 3 turns buffing yourself, and then wipe them out with withdrawal. And you can make arguments for several different combinations being the best for different enemies you might fight. But 20% of the abilities for every class are just unusable trash. Okay. That one gives a lot of vitality. Oh man, if I was a psychological, I'd be so happy to get this charged axe for lightning piercing and instinct through the roof, but I'm just getting all the instinct drops this zone.
It's a sign. Not sure what it's a sign for, but I'll know it once it happens.
We get a couple of weird joke fights here against hobos on the train. This can inflict like an ultra-long stacking poison debuff on you, basically. You can't really get rid of it, you can't outlast it, so you just need to not let him stack it up on you too many times before you win. He's otherwise not that dangerous. But if he stacks it on one person for a while, you can get into some trouble.
Poor Veridux.
Yes. I would expect a bad smell to be area of effect, but what do I know?
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yes. And he's getting worn down pretty fast, actually. Okay, he did change targets there, at least. I will maybe throw Veridux a reform before he dies. He does have critically low vitality right now, partly from switching up the sword, and just his other gear not really lending itself to a vitality thing. Stunning this guy's a great way to control his damage, but oh, never mind. Oh, there we go. Rold came in clutch with that stun there. We're good.
That's why Rold is the protected teammate.
Mm-hmm. He is a lot more useful than Veridux most of the time.
I would feel bad if Veridux could hear us talking about him.
What? Why is he doing so little damage? 53 damage. Oh, wait. Oh, he's got the pity debuff that makes him do 90% less damage.
I pity you. I'm not gonna punch you full strength, but I'm still gonna punch you.
Uh-huh. Or chop you with a sword, as the case may be.
Yeah.
I think we're getting to the point where it might be impossible to keep this guy alive much longer. This guy, he does try to tank you in different ways by reducing your damage and stacking up. Wow, yeah, this is about the longest, most difficult time I've had facing this guy in quite a while, I think. I just deal a little bit less DPS on this character than on some of the ones that I'm used to. I don't have as many ways to stun the enemy while I can keep fighting them. Because Crystallize, I can do it, but it doesn't help me at all, right? We just take poison damage for nothing. I guess theoretically, you get 2 Crystallizes and just keep him perma-stunned while you wait 99 turns for each time that he uses the debuff to wear off. But I'd rather not do that, effective though it could be.
You don't want to wait around 99 turns? 99 turns of Sonny on the queue. Take one down, pass it around.
You would certainly pass a lot of turns. Okay, so it's the other hobo fight.
The real one.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you should be careful stunning this guy, because he often puts a lot of debuffs on himself that makes him a lot easier to kill. So, don't stun him too often. He's another kind of joke fight. He's less formidable than the previous one, usually.
Oh, that hurt.
Wait a sec, that wasn't a zombie.
Well, I couldn't just give him my hard-earned cash, now could I?
Yeah, Sonny really doesn't need psychopath form.
Yeah.
What you really want is trying to stack up a couple of particular debuffs at the same time that multiply together, so he takes himself out really fast. No, it just decreases his max health by that. It doesn't really matter much. Wound helps a lot here too, because some of his debuffs that damage himself, like diseased, get multiplied by it. Oh, he got 2 turns. Whoa! That was unexpected.
Poor Veridux.
Uh-huh. There we go.
Oh.
Veridux is just kind of going to be like the joke character from now on, isn't he? Taken out by the hobo.
And the real hobo.
Yes. Okay, so the question now is what to put points into now that I've maxed pretty much everything out. Subversion is actually like a surprisingly interesting choice sometimes. It only costs 1 thing. Just the ability to switch damage and healing is pretty sweet at times. I think I might pick that up just because the alternatives are passives that might be effective but are fairly boring. I'll put that in my bar. It's occasionally a great way to save a teammate's life when they're about to die. Don't bother healing them, just put them in full offense and have any incoming damage become heals. So I'll take it now so I don't need to regret not having it later.
Mm-hmm.
Now then, I can now equip better stuff. So, I think I'd unequip that for a reason. It is better than what he's got, though. So Supreme Grasp for you. 9662. That sounds like a Veridux item. Yeah, we'll do that. The hobo items tend to be pretty well balanced. 8s across the board. There you go. The hobo's beard. 12, 8, 3. 12, 8, 8, 3. Yeah, that's an upgrade. Alright. And then I was also going to equip store-bought things onto Sonny now. This store is pretty good, I think, for strength characters, generally speaking. Mm-hmm. So, 6, 11, 11. I think we already went over how that's not a straight upgrade. I think it is an overall upgrade, so I should strongly consider it, but I'm not going to. I think it would be good for rolled, though, most likely. So I'll pick one up. I've already got the gloves. I'll get a pair of the gloves for rolled, too. And then these leather wraps are great. So on they go. I should probably get a pair, again, grab a pair for rolled. And maybe a pair of shin greaves for him, too. 6, 11, 11. Yeah. Cool. Well, he's dressed up like a Sonny one mix of samurai and tribal stuff here.
It's gonna win the fashion show.
Mm-hmm. That's a really lousy shield. Okay. Onward through the train. Well, this guy, I think, has no moves that he can use when he's out of focus other than just restore his own focus, so it's very handy to just delete his focus like that. Oh, and also, he has no moves that cost no focus, so he's now going to have to waste another turn doing that same thing thanks to Roll's timely silence.
Nice.
Okay. When can I purge him again? Not for another couple of turns. Oh well. He does pretty nasty damage with his katana. I guess it is like a ghost in a tuxedo wielding a katana. Sonny is full of interesting fights like that. I really do admire some of their creativity with this mixed up setting where it doesn't make too much sense, but it's fun.
Uh-huh.
Alright, you can waste your turn with Dark Rage, just healing your focus back up. Healing is increased. Okay, I'll give him a heal. What do you know? He survived an attack. Way to go, Veridux. And he missed. I guess he was too surprised to be getting praise.
Making me feel bad for this fictional character.
He's really not that bad. Oh, he didn't drop his tuxedo. He occasionally drops a Bugo Haas tuxedo, I think it is, which of course is a reference to the Hugo Boss tuxedo company, who I believe are actually a leftover from the... They've been a company during the Nazi regime and made the SS uniforms, if I recollect. One of the many companies that kind of got away scot-free for their horrible actions. Oh, I went for the wrong one again. I'm really having bad instincts with who to crystallize. Well, my teammates will go for the wrong guy now, but whatever. Or at least the one who's set on full offense will. Or, no. Surprisingly, no. Okay. I don't understand anything anymore.
Oh, is Veridux the hobo now? Because he looks like him.
Yeah, I put his beard on him, so...
Oh, okay. I blinked when you did that, I guess.
That guy's standing up, but he's actually stunned. Alright, it's gonna be like a one-turn phase gap here, basically, where I don't have one of them stunned. So I hope Veridux can just not get killed during that time. It's gonna be a two-turn gap, actually. Oof. Oh, he took himself out. That's nice. Alright, now we crystallize you. Now we're down to just one Spectre we need to fight at a time. Okay, he's taking himself... Oh, he got an extra turn by boosting his speed like that. Okay. Hazardous. Thankfully, I think those stem cells saved his life. And George Bush was against these. There's a lot of interesting cut, or changed, or slightly mismatched content in this game. Sometimes revealed by things like translation quirks between the German version and the English version, for example. A lot of that, along with some crucial information about things like abilities that aren't described accurately, is documented on the wiki. It says some interesting things about the game's probable development cycle, I think. And the wiki is now quite important too, because for some reason ability descriptions seem to get cut off in game now. They didn't used to do that. Oh nice, lucky stun there. Lucky stuns can be more influential than I'd like in this game. Is Veridex faster than me? Huh. That's not great really. I should, at the end of this zone if I can, switch up the speeds and make sure that I am the fastest, followed by Roll, followed by Veridex probably.
It's the beard.
Yeah, it
He
probably
really
is. I give him a
likes
lot of balance items, including
To feel the wind in the beard, so it's motivated to go faster.
You probably want to air that thing out, given how bad the guy smelled, right?
Oh yeah, that too. Doubly motivated.
More of these excellent instinct items that I can't use in this character. Alright, boss fight time.
Speed time?
Nah. Next one, when I know what I'm going to get from the boss. This is a guy who I like his drops usually, because he has a super good instinct item and a super good strength item. So if you're playing any kind of instinct Sonny, which most Sonny builds are, then either way it's a decent item, either for you or for one of your buddies. I like that. For me, where my entire team is nothing but strength guys, I kind of do need to go for his sword drop. That's a strength item though.
Did you save before this?
Yes. Mystery condition. It's surprisingly not dangerous, actually. It's just subversive. His switch damage isn't healing, so if he attacks Veridex, Veridex will now get healed. So he basically takes out his own ability to do damage to you. The only way it can go wrong is if I was foolish here just to throw a reform and have an instant kill them. Which would be hilarious. Oh, okay, fine, I won't do it. This cutie pie saved Veridex's life there with her puppy dog eyes. Oh, he actually got a lucky critical and killed him after all. Huh.
Oh.
The odds of that were small.
Gosh darn it, why'd I bother pulling out the puppy dog?
You can actually get an achievement for killing him without you using your teammates. But if you do it, they'll be one level lower for all future fights and so forth. So I feel like it's not worth it if you're going for a legend run like I am here. It's not even that hard. It's not like a difficult boss, really. Because it's not like he can't really hurt you for one thing. Most of the time. Every time he says something, he means unlocking a new set of his moves to use, basically. Having Veridex dead will slow us down here a bit. Okay, well, I'm taking damage, but it's currently covered by unknown condition. Oh, I guess it wears off at the wrong time. Oh well. Shadow State. I'll just purge that off of him. I guess I just need to respec Veridex, at least equipment-wise that is, to have more vitality and less speed. That would solve all of these problems.
What about his focus?
You really can't control that most of the time. He used Nightmare on himself, damaging himself but getting himself healed over time. But if I purge off his heal over time, he just damaged himself for nothing. So, not a good move there, Clemens. Nightmare is an interesting move for the Shadow builds. It does ludicrous damage up front, either yourself or an enemy. You choose who you target. And then you heal it back over time. But if the heal gets purged off, then you've just done damage, basically. Or, if you just kill a person with it instantly before they can heal up, then you've also just done a lot of damage. So, several ways to make it work. Or you do something like cast Subversion on yourself, hit yourself with it for a massive heal, and then heal up even more over time. It's his true form. So he heals back to full, but takes triple damage, so it really doesn't change much about how the fight goes. He just uses somewhat more dangerous moves in this true form. Oh, I missed. Lots of interesting combinations, both big and small in Sonny, which I've always liked about it. Oh, I just crystallized him instead of reform. Okay, I am playing poorly today.
Whoops.
I guess I am doing this without teammates, but I'm not getting credit for it.
Just to prove you can.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he just nightmared himself. Well, nope. That was a foolish move, too, because he's taking triple damage in this form, so even if I hadn't purged it off, then it would not have been profitable to him. What I meant to do was reform him to give him back some focus, because he got all his focus drained. There we go. Oh, he just keeps doing it. He's taking himself out. This is great. You can see it's really not that hard to beat him with just one person, really. He doesn't have any super nasty moves that can take you out.
That looked big.
He keeps getting criticals at lucky times, but yeah. Interestingly, he's not actually wielding either of the weapons that he'll drop. He's got these 2 ninja blades or whatever from Sonny 1, but he'll drop... Oh, he dropped it. Sunstruck Horse, a reference to Moonstruck Horse, where you could hear, I think, Tormented Screams or whatever from Sonny 1, which is the samurai's giant sword or something like that, I think. A plus speed item. I could maybe use that on myself. It's not good, but it might boost me ahead of everyone else. And a new weapon for Roll, the Fire Piercing he can actually use. He's the only guy in the game who has fire moves. He has a lot of Fire Piercing and he gets a lot of the stats that he needs, so it's a good option for him for a while, until I grow into it, maybe.
Don't you have to click on it?
Yes! Thank you for pointing that out before I...
My
You
heart.
are the brains of this operation. Well, we have finished that zone. We're on to the next one, which is kind of a puzzle fight zone. We'll pick that up next time.
Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day.